I just realized today that cryptocurrency is a video game, and I'll tell you exactly why in this video. So you start off as a level 1 newbie. You just got into cryptocurrencies, probably heard about it on the news or on some sort of social media. So you probably start off with Bitcoin or Ethereum. They're the major ones and they're the easiest ones to buy. You're also going to encounter Vitalik Buterin. He's going to come up to you and say, hey, I'm going to give away all my Ethereum. All you have to do is send me 0.1 Ethereum to prove your loyalty, and I'm going to give you 10 Ethereum in return. Sounds like a great deal? Go for it. That's when it's gonna dawn on you. That's not Vitalik Buterin, that's Vitalik Buterin, and he's a scammer. So that is probably one of the first monsters you're gonna encounter. Smart ones are gonna say, yep, that's a scammer, I'm gonna avoid it, and you level up. Not so smart, sometimes you'll fall for it, but by learning about scammers, you level up even faster. You're also going to encounter websites that are going to promise you to double up your Bitcoin. You know why? Because Bitcoin, they found a hack in Bitcoin that you can double up that Bitcoin. All you have to do is send them 0.1 Bitcoin and they'll just double it up for you. If you send it up them 10 Bitcoins, they'll 5 times it for you. Well, that's an obvious scam too, and hopefully you didn't fall for it. As you defeat these monsters, you're gonna level up, and as you reach around level 10ish, you're gonna be learning about altcoins, the wide world out there. You're gonna venture into new areas as well. So this is where things get a little bit interesting. You're gonna start moving off that crypto into exchanges. Now, this is where things get very fun and also very dangerous. So where's the fun? Well, the fun is in all the crazy number of altcoins out there. It's a very wide and vast world. And by finding one, you probably will join the community, and it's like joining a society or a guild. There's various jobs in that guild too. There might be even a bounty campaign where you can get free coins from just going around promoting it, talking to it about your friends, or even, of course, programming for it if you're a little bit ambitious. In this area, there's going to be other monsters too, like the pyramid schemes. These coins are going to offer you very high returns, 7% returns per week, and you'll be like, oh my god, this is like the best deal in the world. Why didn't I get to this earlier? This is so cool.
Finally I can quit making YouTube videos. This is the answer. BitConnect!
And if you go in for it, you're gonna get wrecked.
I am right now in misery.
You might even realize that it might be profitable for you to promote these pyramid schemes. I mean, it's a Ponzi after all. In which case, you'll probably harm your friends and you have no more friends for life.
BitConnect!
Next up, we have the pump and dumps. So pump and dumps are extremely interesting. They put targets for coins. This coin's gonna pop because of some sort of news that's coming up. Pump and dump's gonna lure you in and make you think that you know more than everyone else. You're smarter because you know about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you just found this awesome new project, and they're gonna give you some sort of new inside information that's gonna guarantee you money. In fact, it's gone up almost 300% over the past few days, and it's most likely gonna go up even more. Boom. If you buy in, you'll probably realize it's going to tank 20%, 30%, 50% over the next few days, and you're probably not smarter than everyone else because you're being played. Next up is the unit bias. You're like, yeah, Bitcoin is so expensive. It's $10,000. I mean, that's not going to pop anytime this year. Let's pick something that's a little bit cheaper. Because cheaper is always better, right? Cheaper coins pop more. One thing you might start to realize is that there's circulating supply, which is the fact that Bitcoin has 21 million max number of coins, but some coins can go up to the billions or even the trillions. So they're just cheap because there's a lot of it, and that doesn't mean it's gonna pop anytime this year. At this point, you might also decide that altcoins aren't for you. I mean, there's just so many of them. How can you pick? And they don't really offer anything else on top of decentralization. At this point, now you become a Bitcoin maximalist or a Bitcoin elitist, and now you can safely ignore the rest of the game. Now, what's next in the land of cryptocurrencies? You probably realize that ICO prices are extremely volatile. So the coins that recently got listed and there were ICOs, they are extremely volatile because people don't know how to price it. And that's where the max money is going to be made. So you're thinking, why don't I do some ICOs? Well, ICOs are entirely different beasts because they might be using cryptocurrencies, and you might feel like decentralization gives these projects an edge over everything else. This is when things get really hard. You're trying to balance what is already hyped. You want social hype for an ICO versus a solid project. And this is when things get really, really hard and the monsters are no longer very obvious. One thing that you're going to realize with ICOs is that these are startups. These are small group of people, and startups fail a lot. A lot of venture capitalists, they kind of know and account for the fact that maybe 70-80% of startups fail already. So the biggest and most obvious trap right now is to go all in.
Alright, thumbs up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Dragons!
Oh my god, he just ran in.
So it's so tempting to go all in, but because of the failure rate, you might lose everything and you might be kicked out of the game.
Leroy, you were just stupid as hell.
That's why getting a balanced portfolio at this point is extremely important, and that's what you want to be a little bit more diversified. You want to learn what everything is about and not just go for what's being hyped. It might be obvious at the start where you think that perceived value is going to be the most important. If the ICO is oversubscribed, it's very likely to pop. That's not always the case though. We've been seeing that there's some ICOs that were popular but still drop in value because people start to lose interest, and in crypto, interest fades like this. We also have survivor bias in cryptocurrency. You're going to hear more and more people that have won with ICOs. You're going to hear those 100x's, those 10x's, and those are going to ring out to you a little bit more. It's going to call to that greedy side of you. You're going to be like, why don't I try to do an 100x as well? I mean, asymmetrical betting seems really great. But the case is that there are also a lot of ICOs that dropped in value. There's a lot of bodies out there, and bodies usually don't speak. They don't tell you, yeah, I made a 0.1x on my ICO. They won't go and brag about that. So there's going to be a lot more people talking about moon landings. They're going to talk about 100x's to get you really involved into ICOs. But at the end of the day, it's really important to do your own research and to make sure that both there's a lot of perceived value and also there's a lot of actual value in this project as well. You have to make sure that decentralization isn't their only tagline, because decentralization doesn't always mean an auto win. Life is hard and business is even harder. A project needs to bring in that revenue in that future. So what level are you at? Do you think that cryptocurrencies are like a video game? And if so, what stage do you think you're at? And do you think that this summarizes your life in cryptocurrencies? I'd love to hear your comment down below. And I hope you enjoyed this fun episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to this channel to get more content like this. And share this video with your friends if this describes what you're going through. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.